Well, good morning. No, good afternoon. Come on. We are definitely not on the West Coast, but if I were, and for anybody on the West Coast, it's good morning still. But right now it's a good afternoon from where I am. So as you can see right here, once upon a Saturday, we've got Frank DiMino of Angel will be with us today. I'm not sure if we're having just a little bit of a technical situation, but when I take this off of here, you'll see hi. So as soon as Frank can get here, we will have him in. I don't know if there was an issue with the link, possibly. I may have to see what that's about. But anyway, no worries. Should be fine. So anyway, we'll get started here. Angel has now, for the better part of a decade, been back together and touring with two of its original members. On some of those shows, they've had three of the classic members in the band. After Mickey Jones was gone, then Felix Robinson joined in on bass and took over. So since that time, though, now that they've reformed and been doing some tours and doing some great music, they're doing new music. So throughout the career, there's been some new music, some different stuff that's come out. There was one that was as what I heard was very, had that cool, some of it had a cool Zeppelin edge to it. And that was really cool stuff too. And then there's been some collections that came out. There's a great box set that came out with all of the CDs. You can get all the albums together in one box set. It's a great price. It's a great package. Get out there and grab that because it's really cool. And it's a one-stop shop. And it also has some rarities with it too. So there's a CD of rarities. Should have brought that over here, but that's all right. We can I can bring it up on here and tell you what's in it. That's not a problem. So then back in 2021, it's so weird to think that's already 3 years ago. They put out the album Risen. As of a later time frame now, they've put out Once Upon a Time, which is what spawned the name of the show today. So we have Frank with us right now. Let's go ahead and bring him on screen. How's it going, Frank? What's up?
I'm trying to figure it all out.
You're doing great. You're doing. That's why the last words of my message were no pressure.
Yeah. I was trying to bring it up on my computer. I can only bring it up on the phone. So
yeah,
which is not great, but
it looks great. You sound You sound great. Everything.
Oh, good.
Yeah. How are you doing, my friend?
Good. Just getting ready to go out there and heading to New Jersey to most of the rehearsals that we've done with Felix have been over Zoom. Okay. And of course he's just trying to remember the stuff that he used to play a long time ago. So
right.
And again, he's gonna also catching up on some of the new stuff because we'll be playing some of the new stuff. So just going through that on Zoom. Now we're gonna actually rehearse them in New Jersey before we do our first show out in St. Louis.
Yeah, you're going to be coming to my neighborhood here.
Yes, yeah. That should be fun. And also Felix's neighborhood.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yes.
And somebody who's not with the band right now, but Greg's neighborhood, right?
No. Greg is from Mississippi.
See, I was thinking at one point they said he was from here, but
no.
That's really weird. Maybe it was Felix that I was thinking of. I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably.
So, all right. But that's really cool. How are let me ask you this. I've only got one lightning round question for you today because it's going to just pertain to like your career and how you started off with you had the Angel years, and then there was that time in the middle where you still had some Angel things going on, but then you had some solo stuff happening, and now back into an awesome Angel swing again. And have you ever had one of those? It happens to me when like just something fell down back there when I was back doing something in the utility room. And I'm like, sure, why not? Something falls. I'm like, yeah, why not? Have you in your career had one of those moments where it's something that you're like, sure, why not?
Yeah, I guess it was getting back to this angel thing because I had been doing it, first, doing it with Barry, and then, just trying to see where, just gauge where everyone else
Hmm.
was at with going back out on the road, and no one really wanted to go back out on the road except Barry at the time.
Hmm.
And then I decided to, people were talking to me, just do a solo thing, do a solo thing. So finally, I did the solo thing, and then I was into the solo thing, and trying to put some shows together, trying to put the band together, and that's when Punky called me and asked me to do a couple of shows because their single was doing something at the time, and yeah, so I did a couple of shows, and then we decided to why not do the Angel thing. So we did the Punky Meadows, Frank DiMino's of Angel thing for a while, and then we finally said, you know what? Why not? Let's just do the Angel thing. So
And
it,
then
it wasn't that well planned, but it was nevertheless it was planned.
some of the we know this, being a musician as well, we know this. Doing it that way is oftentimes the best.
Yeah,
That's what you got to
absolutely.
do.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
as long as you're like-minded, that works just fine.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a little bit more organically planned, I guess,
That's
than really.
that's it. That's it. My buddy gave me one of these, and I'm having a little beer here today with it. My buddy
Oh,
gave me. It's made of a bat. Have you ever seen these? They're
no,
mugs made of a bat.
really?
Yeah, they crafted. Of course, this is the Cardinals one he got me
Huh.
because we're
Wow.
St. Louis Cardinals. So I'm having my first beer out of it today.
Nice. Very
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. I thought that would be a good way, because it's past noon here, so it's
Yeah,
okay.
it's hardly noon here.
So I want to ask you real quick to
Yeah,
get just because I don't want to keep you too long. It's a Saturday. I want you to enjoy your weekend. So I figured about we'll have a few minutes here and we'll take care of a
sure.
few things just to get everybody updated. So I just wanted to ask first of all about Steve
Yeah.
Ojane. So then
Hmm.
how did that work out with the switch with him moving on and doing what he's doing and then getting Tommy?
Yeah, it worked out pretty easily. We did have a lot of people that had requested to have a listen to and stuff like that. But yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, Steve for a long time, has been wanting to do his own thing, and I think he just got to the point where it was time for him to do something, and we just mutually parted ways because it wasn't going to work with him doing his solo thing and us trying to still trying really hard to break the angel thing, with all the new guys and the
Yeah.
new material and stuff. So yeah, so we decided to part ways, and still, you know, uh, wishing the best for each other.
Yeah.
And Tommy was another one of those things that it just kind of organically came together very quickly too.
Very good.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about Tommy? Tommy Caradonna is his name, and
Yeah, he did play with Lita and I believe Alice Cooper for a while,
okay.
but it was mostly talking. We doing a couple of Zoom meetings and stuff, and talking and just getting to know each other. And that's I mean, I think that's one of the main things because there's a lot of guys out there that certainly can play the part.
Hmm. Hmm.
Whether it be musicianship or looks wise, but it's a matter of getting along with each other and just knowing each other and stuff. And I think we all felt comfortable with Tommy, and that's why we decided to go with him.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Now, in knowing that Tony just joined up here, then what with Felix? How is that working out? What's going on with different shows and stuff like that?
Well, right now these were shows that because of St. Louis.
Hmm.
Felix had said, I'd love to. Yeah, we always said I'd love to play my hometown again and stuff.
Yeah.
So we called up Felix and said, listen, we got some shows in St. Louis. If you want to do them, they're available because we're still working on the new bass player and stuff.
Hmm.
So that's how that all came about, and the A shows just fell into that whole category. I didn't want to. I think Punky Danny and myself didn't want to create a situation where it was going to just be 2 shows and that was it.
Right.
We did this whole run with Felix, and that's how we decided to do it. We just went through the dates with him, see if he was able to do the dates with us with this run, and he was, and just gave Tom a little bit more time to go through the stuff and get to know the stuff a little bit better, and that's how we planned this. I mean, there may be other shows with Felix. It all depends on how Felix feels and how the shows are going. But I think once we start in with Tommy, we'll probably move forward with Tommy most of the time. But there's always shows where Felix can come up and sit in,
There you
or
go.
maybe a special show where it seems to work better that Felix plays the show. But I think when we add a new member, that's usually how it's going to stay.
Right. Yeah. And it's what is going to be your upcoming like European schedule going to be like? Are you going to be you have those things planned out yet or
Right now, nothing in Europe. Japan is in July, and we do have another run in Midwest, Chicago, in that area, Ohio. That's coming up in May. And I'm not sure. We're doing the West Coast. I'm not sure if that's going to be June or September, but it's all, or maybe August. I'm sorry, maybe either June or August.
okay.
Right out, either before the Japan thing or after the Japan thing.
Okay. Yeah, because I was kind of looking at the website. I put links down below for everybody that can take a look.
Cool.
And then, yeah, so it looks like you have the Wildy. So you're doing Friday and Saturday there,
Yes. Yeah.
the 5th and the 6th of April. So next weekend.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I mean, I can make Friday night, but I have a gig on Saturday. So fortunately, you're doing both nights.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so
Yeah.
we'll see you Friday.
Yeah. Yeah. Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey,
Yes.
Ohio,
Yeah.
Indiana,
Yeah.
Wisconsin, and then you're back down in the Chicago area for the
Yep.
St. Charles show.
And then we have also the Detroit show.
Yeah, you have Westland, Michigan, and you've got
Yeah.
back to Ohio.
Yes.
So some of these bands, do you know, like Theory, in Theory, I'm going to have to check them out.
Yeah, they're very nice guys. Very, very cool guys.
Very cool.
We've been talking with them, and they wanted to do some shows together. So it's always nice to have an act doing that and doing more than one show, so that you get to know each other, and things become a little bit easier to deal with. It's like when we did with the Sweet shows. After the first few shows, everything went pretty smoothly. So it's always nice to do a few shows together rather than just one-offs. But
Yeah, absolutely. And wow, what a show here you've got in St. Charles with Vinny Appice's Sabbath Nights.
Yeah, Vinny's always a great. I've known Vinny for a long time, and
Yeah, he's
Vinny's
super
really
cool.
easy. Yeah, he's a great guy. So
Yeah, I got to see he and Carmine a while back when we went down for the Rockin' Pod thing down in Nashville. So that was cool, really cool. What are you enjoying the most lately with doing these shows? What really comes out to you?
For me, just playing the shows. I mean, I really get up for being out on the road and doing the shows. I mean, being out on the road can be really kind of dreadful at times.
I
But
can imagine.
but it really, when the show starts and you get out there and you start playing, that's what really makes it all click. You know what I mean? I really enjoy the crowd, and I enjoy the interaction with the audience and stuff. So that's really what keeps me going. What keeps me doing what I'm doing and enjoying it.
Yeah, because it can get it has its opportunity to get like, ooh, okay, here we go.
Yeah, it can, because fortunately for the Wildy, we're doing 2 shows, so it's one show and you get to stay there and do the next show. So it's not so much of a hurry, but usually it's do the show, get back to the hotel, pack, get up, head up to the next show, get your stuff in the room, unpack, shower, get down to the sound check. You know, and it gets to be a routine,
Right.
but you know, like I said, the that hour and a half or so on the stage is really what makes it click for me. So.
Hmm. Yeah, it's really interesting there at the Wildie too, because they just had a Glenn Hughes just came through there,
Mhm.
and on most of the tour they have 3 acts, but they had 2 there because normally they just book 1.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I didn't realize that until that night because I was looking forward to seeing Bad Marriage, and I'm like, oh, I don't get to see Bad Marriage because they're like, well, we
Yeah,
had to talk
we
them into
did
2 bands, so
we
we had to
did
let one go.
we're doing King of Clubs again, and the last time we did that, Glenn had been there the night before, so we all went down to see Glenn the night before we played. We were doing the next night with the suite, and
Wow.
so now it's we're right back right after Glenn again.
Very cool. He's just like you guys.
He's
He's
still killing it. He's
killing it.
so great,
That,
so great.
you know,
Yeah.
I mean, just yeah, just like I say, it's an honor still to see you guys and be able to experience that and the great music and to know
Uh,
that you're still doing it and you want
yeah.
to go back and see you guys again because you're like they're still hitting it, they're still
Yeah.
nailing it, and it's
Yeah. It's
going to be
still,
fun.
you know, it's still a lot of fun. And when it's a lot of fun, it's usually always a great show.
Right, right. Like you're in Vegas,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
oftentimes I tell this story to people when we're talking about music and we talk about Elvis. I talk a lot about how Elvis got there, and when he was doing his thing, he was in the room that had the whole big circular area where all the big money people
Oh,
were
yeah.
buying
Yeah.
tables, and there was no screaming fans right by the
Right.
stage. And could you imagine?
I know.
Have you been play? Here's one other thing too. Have you been playing any place where they're kind of like, well, this is how we do it at the venue. Everybody sits down and nobody stand. We just,
But it was kind of like that at the Coach House,
okay,
but it was a great show. I mean, everyone, you know, the audience was really into it. It was really a great show. But that is one of those places where everyone sits at a table and they can order food and stuff and like that. You know,
yeah,
it's a different kind of atmosphere. But once we hit the stage, man, it was like any other show. They were, you know, the audience was great. The show was great. We
good,
had a great time. Yeah.
good. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, we're getting older, and when you're doing the show, you're like, okay, this is okay. I can live with this vibe right now because it's not so,
Yeah.
you know, but you do need that well,
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
mean, well, I could say, well, you don't need it. No, you need it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need an energy to feed off of. It is synergistic to
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
max.
Yeah. Well, we work really hard to get that going anyway. I mean, no
Yeah.
matter what the situation is, we
Yeah.
work really hard to get that energy going with the audience. So,
Yeah. And I think that goes back to how good you guys are on stage and how well you're playing and singing
yeah.
and doing
Yeah.
everything that it allows the crowd to easily be in instead of you. Some people overdo it and they can't do it.
Right.
And
Right.
you're like, okay, now you're just trying to sell me something that you don't have.
Right. Right.
And
Yeah.
that,
I don't think we're ever trying to sell. We're trying to have a good time and
yes.
trying to bring the audience along with us. And
Hmm.
really, if you really haven't come out to see the band, then you really owe it to yourself to come out and see the band before before we start playing again. You know,
Yeah.
because uh, because really it is a great it's a great time.
Mhm.
It's a good time it's a fun time and it's an
Mhm.
enjoyable time and I guarantee you'll really you won't forget the experience.
And you'll end up feeling right.
Absolutely.
It is a great show though. And the energy is great. The guys you have there, Charlie is great.
Yeah.
Um, you know, the whole band
Yeah.
is on
Yeah.
point.
I feel I feel so blessed to have you know, guys again the second time around that are carrying on and doing the job and doing it so
Yeah.
well, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it really is a great thing.
Yeah. Why am it just drives me nuts when I'm do this. Sometimes when I'm doing this, and I can't. I'm not retaining the drummer's name.
Billy.
Billy.
Billy
God,
the Beast Orrico.
yes. I'm like Charlie, and it's Billy.
And
Billy is
Billy.
great.
Yeah.
He is such a great guy, and
Yes, he
I
is.
talked extensively about the drum parts. And what's funny to me, Frank, is well, all right, let's wait for a second on that. How do you feel when you're out front? Because we're frontmen. I do the same. I do that as well. And when you hear that drummer behind you, and when they deliver something that is right on, or just maybe a little something you weren't expecting that was awesome, how do you feel when Billy's back there playing?
I got to tell you, I mean, I played with Barry. I loved playing with Barry. I mean,
Sure,
um, hold on for a second here.
sure.
My 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 phone battery is running down.
Isn't that always the beautiful timing? You're like,
Yes.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So playing with Barry was jeez. All right. There we go.
There you
Playing
go.
with Barry was like, when I first saw Barry play, from the minute I first saw Barry play, it was like, I got to play with that guy because I
Oh
love
yeah.
the way he plays. So it's really important to me to have that drummer behind me, to give me that energy and to give it back to him, you know.
Hmm.
So when we first decided to put this thing back together with Angel, I was really skeptical about trying to replace Barry. And
Right.
with the solo thing, I had Scotty Coogan, and Scotty is very very close to what Barry does, and he was really conscious of how Barry played as well. So when it
Hmm.
got to this project, I wanted to see that from the first rehearsal how Billy was and how he would react to certain things, and Billy has he doesn't play exactly like Barry, but he has Barry's essence of playing. So it's been so great to have him behind there playing, giving me that energy, and hopefully I give him back that energy. He's really, when I called him the Beast, I meant it. I mean, I feel like he really pushes the band, and that's what you need when you're playing live. And
Hmm.
Barry was like a machine back there, and Billy is as well. So I love playing with him.
That's great. Yeah, he's he's super cool to talk to, just like all of you guys. And so it's been a great match all the way through. I look forward to meeting up with Tommy sometime, and
Yeah.
but I really look forward to meeting up with Felix since he's from the classic Angel days. Um, and everything, and it's just such a pleasure to do that. I was talking with Billy early on, one of the first times that I met up with him, and I was like, dude, you're nailing it. And he's like, yeah, there's certain things that I'm working to. I'm like, okay. But i'm I'm really particular about this stuff, and you're doing great because there's nuances. You're right. There's
Yeah.
Barry did a great job. He
Yeah.
really helped design that whole fabric of Angel,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely. Yeah.
what we remember from all of those records all those years.
Yeah.
And Billy, I really honors that. I think
He
that's,
really does. Yeah. He
you
really
know,
does, and he took it to the next level with the last two albums, with Risen and
mhm.
Once Upon a Time. So
Yeah.
I'm really very happy with him.
Yeah. I was telling everybody before you got here, I was mentioning about the box set that came out that has
Uh huh.
all of the classic albums in it and some B-side stuff. There's a whole rarities CD in there too.
Hmm.
And people need to check those out. That's a great little box set to go ahead and
Yeah. Absolutely.
to
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
along with Risen and Once Upon a Time. You
Yeah.
know,
There's been a couple of box sets that have been out, and a couple of different uh,
like a best of releases and
best
stuff.
of releases and stuff like that have been out,
Yeah,
that have been done really well. So
yeah.
yeah.
What do you feel? How do you? Well, I don't, and I thought about this. I thought we can always talk about set lists, but I don't really want to do that because I want to leave it open.
Yeah.
Even when I'm getting ready to go see Judas Priest, even, soon, I'm like, I don't want to look at a set list. I don't want
Right.
to know, I just, because they've surprised me in the past, and I think that's great.
Mhm.
Have you guys been doing some changing of the list stuff
Yes, we
too?
always do some changes. Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
And then what are some of your high points here on this album that you love? We've got The Torch, Black Moon Rising, It's All Right, Once Upon a Time, and
Yeah, The
England.
Torch and Black Moon Rising, I think, are two great tunes. I mean, I loved
Cool.
singing Black Moon Rising.
Yeah.
And what's name a few other ones on that
And
one?
then Let It Rain.
Oh yeah, Let It Rain was a lot of fun.
Cyclone, Blood of My Blood, Bone of My
Cyclone,
Bone.
Blood of My Blood. Now that was a lot of fun to do because it's a little bit more R&B,
Yeah.
which was a lot of fun vocally to do. So I mean I love stretching around, doing stuff like that. So that
And we
was a
love it
lot of
when you
fun.
do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that one was fun.
Turn the Record Over, Rockstar, Without You, and Liar Liar.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lot, so many good tunes. Between this one and the Risen album, is we've worked really hard to get to get the new tunes to be right and to fit in with Angel, and I think the most important thing is to have the songs there, and I think that we worked really hard on getting the songs together and made them right, and it worked to our beneficial.
Yeah. Now, when you guys are live, when we come and see you guys, do you have a lot of the vinyl stuff still available? When you at the merch table, do you have?
No, we don't
that?
have. We do. We do have. I know there's been a lot of asking for the necklaces. So this time around, I think we have some necklaces that'll be at the merch table. But no vinyl. No vinyl. It's
Okay.
very difficult to get the vinyl and the CDs and stuff with record companies nowadays.
Oh, it's rough, man.
Yeah.
I was just trying to get some stuff, for promotion for Wayward Sons when I was trying to get them on the radio. I'm like, tangibility goes a long way.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just wanted to put this up. Drew is here with us today. He says it's hammering time. Hello to you and me.
All right.
So,
How you doing,
It's
Drew?
great to see you here, man.
What's happening, Drew?
So I'll let you get rolling here real quick. But, we really look forward to seeing you guys. What is in the future as far as recording? Are you guys writing something else?
We're always writing. I mean, we'll see. I don't know. There's always talk about whether it be another studio album or this time around maybe a live album, which might be interesting and might be fun to do. So it's always about what we really at this point in our careers. It's what we really want to do, what we feel like doing. So it could be either way. If we feel like we want to do a studio album, we'll do that. But I think right now it's leaning more towards maybe a live album. But like I said, all things can always change. So we'll see.
Well, yeah. I think, well, I think a lot of things, but I don't pay the bill. So I've got tons of ideas, Frank, but you're like, that's cute and all, Stu.
And ask you
get your wallet out, Stu, and pay for something.
Right.
Well, thanks for the time, Frank. I'll let you
Absolutely.
get going. And if you don't mind, hang tight, and I'll talk to you backstage just a second here. Just hang on.
Stuart.
And in the meantime, folks, thanks a lot for stopping by. A big thanks to you, Frank. Anything you want to say to anybody before you go?
No, I got to get packing. I'll see you out there.
Fantastic. That's great. Hang tight with me, and we will see you soon. Everybody out there, thank you so much for joining in. And then we will keep the content coming like my good brother here, Frank. All right, guys, take it easy, and we will see you soon.